everyone. This is New York City Radio. I'm your host, Tom Seymour.
And I'm your other host, Ken Powell.
James Richardson.
Dave Lutenhouse.
And we are honored to have a special guest, William Tokarsky, known for many things, Homicide Hunter, and on the internet, he made a huge sensation with the Adult Swim's Too Many Cooks video, which was also on Adult Swim. But you've had a very long career. Anyway, thank you for joining us tonight.
I'm happy to be here.
So I guess you mind if I talk about Too Many Cooks right off the bat?
Go for it.
Okay. So I watched that a few times now, and when you're watching it, it's so funny, it's so random, and what was it like coming into that situation? And maybe can you walk me through, like, from the ground up, how it came to be?
Well, as far as myself and the rest of the crew, most people were unaware of what was actually going on. As the print articles have said in the past, it was mostly all extras, and up until that time, I had only had one principal role before that. So most people didn't know what was happening. In fact, we shot most of the photography on 3 consecutive days. It was on the stages that VH1's Single Ladies television show was shot.
Really? Awesome.
Oh, yeah. Well, once a stage, they'll tear down a lot of specific things, but it was basically the same stage. So most people were there just for one day. In other words, they would do their one-day shoot. I think that the husband and wife, which is Ken Delosier and Tara Oches, and by the way, Tara has gone on to a major breakout role in the film Selma.
Oh, really?
Oh, yes. You're going to hear a lot more from her. She and I have been friends long before this. We've done quite a few. But back to where I was going, I tend to wander a little bit.
No, that's what this show's about.
Most people had no idea what it was, other than, they were getting a chance to act and they were going to get an on-screen credit. Okay, so this was neat because you're going to get an IMDb credit and you're going to act. And most extras ideally want to have some face time. They want to be seen on screen. So they just ate it up and loved it. But most of them there for one day or less than a day. I think Ken and Tara worked 2 days, and I ended up working a total of 4 days on the show, 3 days on the main set, and then later we had to do some pickup scenes, the tennis court killing,
yeah.
and if you look at the tennis court killing, my beard is gray, whereas my beard through the rest of the show is brown. Very low budget show we shot, but at any rate, I did that, and where I dragged the black girl from behind the door. Mm-hmm. Those were 2 pickup shots that were done over a year later. Just to fill it out. But most people didn't know what was going on. I sort of figured out what was happening. Casper Kelly, the guy behind it, when he approached me and another gentleman that's on his other show, Your Pretty Face is Going to Hell, and asked us both to do a little tape, and they were going to sit down and look at him and pick who was going to be the killer. He gave us a brief thumbnail, but what it was, but I was never aware of the play of putting me in the 24-second mark. everything was not shot in order. Everything was shot in little pieces. So I wasn't aware of that gag till it actually came out. And in fact, I didn't realize it myself until I read the internet articles about how many times I appeared. Because, a lot of times you're there and you're on set, you have no idea what the camera's actually looking at.
Sure, yeah.
So, yeah. So it was a fun set. Everybody was having a great time. It was what I typically call guerrilla filmmaking.
Yeah.
In other words, where everybody does everything. It was a non-union shoot. It was very low budget. The crafty and the food was, they had local restaurant cater it in, and I mean, it was just a friendly little atmosphere.
So, but there's one shot where it was like green screen. They put your head on the front of a spaceship. So what was that?
That was actually we call it a face ship.
Yeah.
But actually, that was the best part for me because all of the series where the people are laying and their credits are up and they're vertical, that was all green screen.
Yep.
So one day or late in the afternoon each day, we would do some green screen work. So I had no idea how that was going to turn out, and really enjoyed it. My favorite was where I was turned into an animated character. That's a first for me, where I did the GI Joe sequence.
Yeah, that was great. That was great.
That was unique. But trust me, it was the most fun that I've ever had with most of my clothes on.
Now, from this video, now, are you getting recognized, or like, how has this been for you?
The biggest thing for me is everybody that's making a short, an indie film, aspiring filmmakers want me to be in their film. But as far as paying jobs go, maybe one or two jobs I've gotten because of that. Now, like I say, Tara has done well. And are you a Walking Dead fan?
Absolutely.
The little girl in Walking Dead, the new character, Carl's girlfriend.
Yeah.
She's a Too Many Cooks alumni.
Oh, wow. That's great. That's cool.
Yeah. So a few people are starting to move, but I think a lot of those people would have moved without Too Many Cooks.
Now, are you out of? I was looking on Facebook. Are you out of Georgia, or are you here, or?
I live south, about 30 minutes south of the city in Atlanta. I'm a retired. I retired from General Motors back in '09, and they were filming a lovely little film down here where I live, Get Low, with Robert Duvall.
Oh yeah,
awesome.
And I walked over and I want to see Robert Duvall, one of the onlookers, and there were some people standing around and they were extras, and I spoke with them and I said, well, hell, I could do that. So the first job I did was a little Disney movie called The Odd Life of Timothy Green, and it just grew from there.
Wow.
It was fun. It's been fun. I've enjoyed it, and I'm still enjoying it.
Was Too Many Cooks out of Atlanta, or?
Yeah, we shot it all in Atlanta.
Oh wow. Okay. Cool.
Everything as far as Too Many Cooks and their other live show that Casper's involved with, Your Pretty Face is Going to Hell, is shot in Atlanta.
Is that the one with Henry Zabrowski where he's dressed up like the devil?
Henry Zabrowski is the John Belushi type character. Matt Servino from Sopranos fame is the devil, and the nemesis is Craig Rowan. All New York trained actors.
So, but I saw you in devil makeup, correct? Like, were you?
Yeah, I'm a character. I started as just an extra on that show, and there's two people that write and direct that show, Dave Willis and Casper Kelly, and they liked me, and I actually opened the very first episode. It was all green screen work, and they liked me and would use me a lot. When season 2 came out, they asked me if I could come back and do it. And in fact, we did a script delivery to the executive vice president of Adult Swim, where I dressed up in a diaper and a crook, and we knocked on this millionaire's penthouse apartment, and I come in and my line was, I'm Baby New Year's from 2013, and another guy jumped in behind me and says, I'm Baby New Year's for 2014, and here's the script for season 2 of Your Pretty Face. So like I say, they're crazy people. They're fun. They're great to deal with, and I expect I'll do more with them.
So what was the Homicide Hunter from? Was the ID Network? How did that come to be?
Yeah, it's ID Network shoots up in Knoxville, Tennessee. And they lay the roles out open on Facebook. They have a page on Facebook, and the biggest thing to get cast in those roles is look something like The Perp, because basically they do a crime reenactment show. So I went up there and did that. I had worked for an extra for a number of years and enjoyed it. And what was happening is I've got a unique look. That's a good word, unique.
Yeah, that's cool.
I've got a unique look, and they would always move me towards the front. And I was working the film Hunger Games Catching Fire. And I was scheduled for 6 days to work. I don't know if you saw the movie. It's where they burn the hob, and and there's a scene where Jennifer Lawrence's boyfriend Liam Helmsworth gets whipped in the square, and she comes running to save him, right? And I'm standing there. I got back to holding at lunchtime and got a text message from the casting director, the extras act director, that says, "You have a speaking line next week if you want."
Oh, cool. That's really
cool. I worked 2 days, made I think almost $2,400 in those 2 days. Since October 2012, I've drawn almost $5,000 in residuals. Now, the neat part is, go look at the movie. It's not there. They didn't use the scene.
Oh, wow. Cutting room floor,
Yeah.
huh? Wow. So,
And that happens.
but so am I correct in saying your acting career started after you retired from your day job, or no?
Yeah. Yes.
Wow.
Yes. No,
That gives
my
me a
acting
lo- it gives
career
me a lot of
started
hope.
then when I got that role on Hunger Games Catching Fire, because I had my own trailer. I had a production assistant said, "Mr. Tokarsky, we have a van to take you to the pre-production meeting with Woody Harrelson, the director, and Jennifer Lawrence, and you sit." And I just liked the treatment. I wasn't even worried about the money. Hell, I'd have paid them to do it.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed it, so I says, I think I'm going to pursue this. So I've just been pursuing it. I then should take some classes, learn how to act on camera, learn how to memorize lines, and get an agent, and that's where I have been.
Wow.
Just did a promo for the History Channel. Ought to be out next month. Did you ever watch Top Gear on the History Channel?
Yeah.
Rutledge Wood is a gentleman that does it, and we did a promo for his new show called Lost in Transmission, where they're going to restore cars, but not what you think. They're going to restore an AMC Pacer or the garage finds of the, like Jay Leno said, nobody's going to look at these Vipers. What's going to be a collector's item is a Pontiac Aztec, those weird little cars, and that's what the show is going to be. But anyway, I did a promo for that for them just recently.
What kind of work are you looking for? Like, what would a dream role for you be?
The creepy janitor on some high school show,
Yeah.
has minimum dialogue, just does a lot of face play,
And now, does that it seems like you fully embraced like playing the serial killer and stuff like that.
I am 67 years old, so I can't take the normal route to success where most actors would take, and I would be happy to be typecast in a role that nobody else wants. So yeah, that's cool with me. And you've seen some of the little videos I've made.
Yeah.
I've got a group of young aspiring filmmakers that want to make a creepy holiday video for every holiday. We got 2 more in the can that'll be coming out shortly. In fact, I did get you've obviously heard of the Coen brothers, right?
Yeah.
Well, their replacements are on the way up, and they're called the Cooper brothers. And they're out of Troy, Michigan. Now this is cool. They're twin brothers. They're about 22, 23 years old. One is going to school at NYU at the film school. The other one's going to Columbia in Chicago at the film school. Last year, they won the Holly Shots Film Festival in the student division. And we made a little short that I think is going to win it all this year. It should be out shortly. I'll drop it on your Facebook page.
Oh yeah, I'd love to see it. So is there anything about you that you like so far? The way that people perceive you in films, is there anything that's like you'd want your audience to know about you? Like, hey man, I know I play these characters, but I'm really like this, or.
I don't care. I'm just old enough that I don't give a shit. In other words, how Betty Davis used to say, all publicity is good publicity except for your obituary. So
Right.
I'm happy to anything that people will, anything that I can do along those lines. I want to do a lottery commercial. Those sort of,
That's cool. Well, I think we have some. We actually wrote on Facebook. we asked some of the, like on my page, asked some of the listeners to chime in if they had some questions for you. So would you mind answering
Not a
a few?
problem.
Okay. Let's see. Do we have any of those?
We
up?
have one from Courtney McCurley Wilkinson, but you sort of already answered the question. But she did ask, when did you decide to become an actor?
October 2012, I decided to leave work as an extra and become an actor because it's much more lucrative and a hell of a lot more fun. Courtney is an interesting individual. She has made contact with me. She just had a little baby, by the way. And the way she announced it is she says, we have a new Too Many Cooks fan.
Awesome.
Nice.
She takes my headshot. I sent her a headshot. She takes my headshot wherever she goes. I went to Mexico last year. I went to England last year, and she takes pictures of my headshot in the subway, and then sends them back to me. She's the president of my Texas fan club. I have a cult following.
Sweet.
Nice.
I've got them all over the world.
Susan O'Neill Stinson asks, when do we go to set again? When do we go to set again together? And when is our movie coming to life?
Susan is a lovely young lady who has played homeless with me as an extra. And if the editor lets us out of the closet, we will be in some Los Angeles street scenes in the movie Furious 7 that's soon to be released. So we worked that one. She and I worked that one together. When you get an agent, the agent tells you, stop working as an extra. So, yeah, Susan is in regard to that.
Nice. Justin Benacourt asks, how often do you get recognized as the killer from Too Many Cooks?
Actually, not very often. Not very, because A, my hair is not as long as it used to be, and my beard is gray, and I wear glasses. But it's usually a bartender somewhere that will pick me right out.
Nice. Stephanie Perez asks, do you ever wonder if there weren't enough cooks?
Well, interesting.
Any other ones?
No, that was the last question.
You know what? It reminded me of. I was it you sent me a clip and it was Flight when Denzel Washington.
Yep.
And someone had slowed it down and panned over and to reveal you, and then they dubbed in the Too Many Cooks theme.
Yeah. Like I say, I've got a cult following. People do that, and they send it to me. And I told them, well, look for me, like the movie Dumb and Dumber that was just out. I'm in 2 separate scenes in there, but you really got to look to find me.
Wait, you were in something in a cab, right?
Anchorman 2. Yeah.
Anchorman 2. That's right. That's awesome.
It's interesting because what occurs is there was like a dozen of us that drove cabs round and round circle in the background for some of the scenes in Anchorman 2. And they picked 3 of us and says, okay, we're going to do 3 taxi rides. One with the female going to somewhere, one with both of them, Will Ferrell and the female going, and then Will Ferrell and the female coming back. And all 3 of us filmed, but guess what? Mine's the only one that made it. So, I mean, this happens all the time.
That's cool.
Even with major actors, a lot of their stuff that they film, you never see.
Right.
Did you see Apocalypse Now?
Yes.
Did you see the 4-hour director's cut?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a good example. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Of how much stuff gets chopped. Yeah. Actually, Ken and I have some films that we're making, so we want to pick your brain at one point, because it'd be kind of cool to work together if that would be possible. Yes. But we'll see. But anyway, well, was there anything that you wanted to plug or promote or anything like that?
Sure. I'm going to do my first personal appearance. On the coast of Georgia is a lovely resort called Jekyll Island, just south of St. Simon's Island. And last year, they had their first annual Jekyll Island Comic Con. And they invited me and a few other people. But I had tickets to a NFL football game that weekend, couldn't do it. But December 12th of this year, at the Jekyll Island Convention Center, they will have a Comic Con. And I will be there doing a meet and greet and signing headshots and taking selfies with people. raise a little bit of money for some charity.
Oh, that's great. That's a great. We'll try to look it up and post a link on the website for that.
Yeah, they got a Facebook page, and the link is jekyllcon2.com.
JekyllCon2.com. Cool.
JEKYLL.
Great. Well, thanks so much, William, for being on the show. This has been really fun. Yeah, you should come back on again sometime. Anytime you have anything to promote.
Anytime.
Cool.
New York is one of the places I'd like to go. You asked about what those things I'd like to do. I would like to be invited to go film something in New York or to go film something in LA, but
we could probably arrange that.
Yes. All it takes is an airplane ticket and $20 a day beer money, and you can have me.
I think we might be able to pull that off.
That's pretty reasonable.
I'll take care of the beer money.
Cool. Okay. So thanks for being with us.
I enjoyed it.